Hey everyone, my name is Rafael and I never had a Jazzmaster or Jaguar. I had a PJD offset of some kind that had P90s and a fixed bridge, right? But I never had a Jazzmaster. I still don't. This is actually borrowed from a friend called Dave that I think he must have been so sick and tired of hearing me ask about offsets that he just said, you know, I have one laying around the house that I'm not using. That I can borrow you. So this is the Classic Vibe Jazzmaster, right? The purple edition from Anderton's, I believe. And I'm really impressed by a few things. So it sounds different from a Strat and from a Tele. It feels different because of how the body sits and the way that it is shaped. The tremolo is different from a Strat as well because it doesn't go out of tune when you bend the string. So the other strings don't go out of tune as much, I think. This is the first as well Classic Vibe that I've ever tried. I have a strange progression with guitars. I tend to I didn't do the Squire into Max Fender into American Fender. I've been all over the place. So I think it sounds really good. For example, so let's just go through the tone. So this is on the neck pickup. Has this very almost lo-fi sound in the bridge, which is interesting, I guess. You get the gist. And then there's the rhythm circuit that turns just the neck pickup with its separate volume and tone, so you can have it set with the tone rolled off a bit, right? If you don't know. Which is different from the neck just rolled. The tremolo, right? So as you saw, it didn't detune the low E despite I was playing bends on the other strings with the Strat, it does. I changed the strings to 10s and it has held tune perfectly well. And this has given a bit of insight into the Classic Vibe series because Jazzmasters and Jaguars have this thing that people always upgrade them, and I'm not sure if it's by need or if it's just because it's a thing to do. I love modifying guitars, and if it wasn't a terrible financial decision, I would just buy cheap guitars and modify them to the end of their lives and then try to sell them when nobody would give me any money for it. So I can understand that, but if you buy an expensive guitar and then straight away you have to modify it, means that it's not a really good guitar. Otherwise, it should be already in my head, between 1,000 and 2,000 pounds, you shouldn't have to modify the guitar, right? Like the Fender Performer, you don't need to modify it. You can, but you don't need to. The Eastmans, you can, but you don't need to. And with the Jazzmaster, I think maybe the Professional 2 is where people tend to be it's okay, although some still don't like the tremolo. For me personally, for what I play, this could do perfectly well because there's nothing here going wrong. The way that I play, there's no strings going out of tune, there's no strings slipping out of the bridge, there's no heavy vibrato usage that I really need. The only things that could be done on this guitar are the things that all guitars need, which is, setup, nut slots cut more appropriately to the string gauge, maybe a shim if need be to reduce the action, but this one, I don't know if it has a shim or not, but it plays really well and has nice action. So The gloss neck is not something that I'm particularly fond of, but I can live with it. It's not, you can still play. There's never been an instance that I was playing that I was doing anything that mad that required me to do that. But then again, I play a lot of like open chords and power chords and stuff like that. So it's simple stuff. I'm not shredding all over the neck. And realistically, I don't know if this is safe to say on the internet. I don't think most people are. And if you are playing live, I don't know what songs are you playing that require that much dexterity that you must have the smoothest neck ever in order to go up and down. Especially on a Jazzmaster. But you might need to min-max everything. Sure, power to you. But if you, the thing I like about this guitar is has a cool color, it has a nice configuration, plays well, has good sounds. I do think that the pickups are not to the level of my other guitars. There's some, I don't know if it's muddiness, if it's some lack of fidelity, but it could be just because there are different types of pickups. I enjoy them. They have like this almost like grunge indie characteristic to them, and maybe that's why indie bands and alt rock bands use them, because they have this different sound that it's not quite Strat, it's not quite Tele, it's not quite Humbucker or P90, it's something else different. The one thing that I don't like is these knobs. I don't know why they put Strat knobs on Jazzmasters. It annoys me to no end, but loads of Jazzmasters from Fender do this. I prefer the the witch hat knobs, just cosmetically speaking. Other than that, it's a really cool guitar. It's very comfortable to play sitting down, although it moves the neck slightly further away, I think, or taller or something. Standing up is also really cool. I don't know if you'll be able to see. It holds very comfortably, and it has a nice weight. It's not too heavy, and it's cool. It's cool for. It's the first, as I said, the first offset with a vibrato that I've tried for a long period of time. I tried the Gordon Smith Gatsby and I didn't quite look. I'm really weird with proportions and pick guards. It's impressive how Fender and the team at Fender designed so many iconic guitars that are so photogenic these days. And this one, although it seems like it droops here a little bit, it really is a great looking guitar. The way that the pickguard follows the lines and everything, like the design really is there. And some of these audio guitars that are offsets and it seems like no one thought about that for some reason that I don't quite understand. Visuals are very important in my opinion. And this has a dark wood. I think it's still rosewood before the Cites, I think. I don't know. But it's dark looking wood. It's darker looking than the rosewood Telecaster that I have on the wall. So that's it. Those are just my impressions. If you're curious about an offset, I don't think going for a classic vibe is the wrong move. You, like myself, you might think if it's really worth it, if then you have to upgrade things. I don't think you have to upgrade anything until you find a problem with it. And if you're not using offsets at the moment, probably there's nothing that you wish to upgrade straight away. It also depends on the style of music that you play and what you want to get out of it. But if it's just to try something different, you can also try like the Harley Benton's JA60 and the Revelations and even the Affinity Jazzmaster, but they don't have the vibrato, which is what I think makes these guitars really interesting. On that note, the vibrato does resonate sympathetically to the strings, so acoustically, sometimes you'll hear it resonating here, which could be annoying. And depending on your recording environment, might be a problem. For me, it hasn't been. I have never taken the guitar out because it's not mine, so I don't want to get in trouble by breaking it or damaging it. So there it is. These are just my impressions, sort of. It's not an extensive review because I don't know enough about this sort of guitar, like exactly how the tremolo works and everything, to make an assessment of how good or how bad this guitar is for what it is. It is a guitar. It plays notes. It plays in tune. It's intonatable, it has cool effects, it seems to be worthy of gigging. So there you go. I hope this information is helpful to you, and I'll see you next time whenever I upload, because I don't have time for these sort of things. Bye bye.